the feet pretty much in the positions I want them now. I've also got the head sorted a bit, and I've come in here with the carving, and I need now to come down here and get some refinement in this part of the carving so that the whole thing continues as a whole. So that's what we'll turn to next. And giving some shape to it. We need to establish 3 levels, the 2 wingtips and the tail. So here I am removing wood around the edge of a line I've drawn that defines the upper wing. And with an appropriate gouge, I'm going to set that in. I'm not going to use a mallet here, it's a bit delicate. So I'm just pushing that tool down vertically. I'm not undercutting at this stage. Removing some of the wood, a bit like a relief carving really. Then some of that excess from below the edge I can remove with a coping saw. It's a really useful tool. You can make a cut and then come in from the side with a gouge and just remove a little block of wood like that. Very quick. So having gone one side of the top wing, I'm now cutting the other side, the other edge. So this gives me my top wing. I'm not undercutting here, I'm keeping the walls vertically. Now I'm dropping wood away below the top wing. This is the level of the second wing, the wing that passes underneath the top one. So now I'm going to the other tip, and you see here I'm getting a problem going against the grain. And when that happens there like that, what you need to do is reverse the direction or work across the grain. So I've now got the wingtip of the second wing, the one below the top one. So I'm marking that in. And by removing wood around that, I'm down to the tail itself. So I'm working with the grain here, going up the curve. I've given myself an idea of the thickness, and I'm just coming up along the side of that second wing in order to establish it. And then on the other side, I'm coming down onto the tail at that side in order to get a sense of where the wing is on that side. So now I turn to the underside of the tail. This certainly needs a lot of wood taking away here. It's quite thin, but also it's not just the tail itself, it's where the tail goes up into the post and the bird itself. So I need to remove a lot of wood up here. So the 2 things I've got to bear in mind is the face, firstly the face of the post itself. So here I'm trying to establish that, and the inside of the tail as it meets the bird. So this is quite a delicate bit to get to read right. So with a flat gouge, I'm dressing the inside of the tail and leading that line up in towards the body. At the same time, I'm establishing the top edge of the tail as it relates to the wings. So I'm taking more off here. Eventually that gets quite thin. So turning back, I need to do the top end of the tail. So I need to establish how the body runs into the tail itself. So working the face of the post and the tail itself deeper and deeper, and eventually I'm back to using the coping saw to remove a bit more wood out of here. So keep an eye on the line of the bird, how the bird sits on the post, and little by little you can take this back. Working in this direction, you work with the grain, and once the tail is beginning to look right, I can start adjusting the ends. So here I am having drawn in the ends and back to the trusty coping saw and cleaning up the shape of the end with my gouge. So I'm quite happy with how this has gone. It's quite technical, quite difficult bit of carving, but so far so good. The tail is attached to the body and the legs attached to the post and so on, so everything in the refining is correct. So the next stage is to focus the carving. I'm going to call it focusing. So we're going to go to more of a finished surface all the way over the bird, take another pass over it, the head, the feet the tail, and then finally we have detailing, which we'll do at the end. So into the focusing.